Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well wherever you are on the planet right now. Just here to sharing some stuff, like some real conversation um, that I was having with myself, but I know that many people are going through that as well. And eventually, this can be something that is useful for you. As I was also going deeper within me and trying to find the ways to relate to these moments that we are going through in the collective. And I have to be very honest with you that the past 24 hours was not that easy, energetically speaking, but I'm here today to just to remind you that all is well, first of all. Even though things seems to be crumbling around, you can always get your attention back to yourself and remember yourself that you are free anyway. So this is like the most important thing that everyone should remind themselves of, which is this connection to their own strength, their own self-confidence, their ability to go through any situation, any endeavor, any challenge with persistence, with presence, and with full trust that whatever is coming up, they are also serving a purpose, which is of you transcending that situation to the point of you recognizing that you are far bigger than that. I know that some of you might have watched the video that I posted, I think it was 2 weeks ago, which was called Skip Distraction, and how important it is these days to really get focused regardless of what's going on around. And I know that sometimes it's quite challenging to do that, but I think that it's also the greatest contribution that you can give to yourself and to everybody around, which is your full dedication to what you came here for, which is your true intention being applied in anything that you set yourself into motion. This is, of course, something that it requires a lot of inner research when you know that the path that you are going through as well is the one that is fulfilling to you, and not necessarily people are having this self-reflection, but eventually, if they do so, they will also find their own paths, their own ways of navigating circumstances and shifting entirely the way that they work, the way that they relate to people, to things, to places. And I think that there's no better way of regaining that confidence, that trust, and that strength than going within and having that silent moment for that inner reflection to bring up exactly what you're here for, if that's your moment. Okay? For others of you who are already going like in this path that you know that is the right one for you, that's great. Keep going. Don't spread your energy too thin. This is not the moment for that. If I would like say something about this, it's literally of reminding yourself of your intention and how you want this to impact the life of other people around you. And having this goal and having this objective has to be bigger than anything that might be happening in your daily routine. Okay. I know that many people are having a lot of struggle also with defining their direction in life. And then we go to the real talk, which is the disconnection that many people are having with the balanced male role. We would say it is like as a male archetype, right? And I think that of course, that it has nothing to do with the gender. It's about how each person is acknowledging these aspects within themselves. And we also know that some people have gone through situations in life in which they perceive as not having any kind of reference of what it means to be like this balanced male person, or a male, I wouldn't say person, the male like role within, like I'm talking about the masculine principle, okay? And on the other hand, you also have those situations in which people they only had the distortions of this masculine role. I'm saying role, but of course that is not a simple and small box. It's not my intention to use this word with this purpose. It is just like a way of describing or putting into a word that would best connect to what I'm trying to convey here in this video. So we have like this scenario in which we have a lot of people who have this perception of absence of the masculine principle, while others are having behaviors and actions that are associated with the distorted masculine principle. And then we also have the segments that derive from this kind of scenario that acts, of course, differently for each gender. And I'm not only saying male and female. I think that for each person it's very unique the way that this is expressed. And I think that this is what makes life even more interesting, like how each person can literally express this in their daily life, in their choices, and how they create things. And I think this is fascinating. But what I've been sensing lately is that most people are not literally embodying that balanced role that they can have with the masculine side of them. I'm not gonna cover like the feminine principle, not today, because I think that for this week and maybe the next one, the masculine, let's say, principle seems to be, to me, like more prominent for being a subject of a conversation that I'm having with you. So I would like to make actually an invitation for you to remind yourself of someone that you met in your life. And it can be in any period of life. Let's say in your childhood, or when you're a teenager, or when you or an adult. Someone that had this quality of a balanced masculine, especially if it involves like an old man, an old male figure. And I'm telling this because as we have seen like so much going on like in the collective, when people remind themselves of those balanced and harmonized roles, and become grateful for what they did in their lives, then I think that we can remain more connected to our heart space and in having a better approach to things and to situations around. And recognizing that regaining this is far more important than going this never-ending loop of insatisfaction, frustration, lack of motivation that seems to be popping in the unconscious collective. So I would like to invite you to remind of a person that had those traits, those virtues of a balanced male, an old man, with whom you could draw a lot of wisdom, from whom you could draw a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, a lot of assertiveness without being aggressive, confidence without being arrogant. That taught you something very meaningful to your life, to you. And it can be a teacher, it can be a coach, it can be your father, your grandfather, it can be maybe a former employer, maybe the director of the school where you studied. It can be your neighbor or even a stranger. And I was reminding myself today of someone that I met, was someone I didn't know. And I went into a meeting and I was very fortunate to meet someone who embodied those traits in a moment of my life that I really need that. I really needed that that reassurance externally that I could trust people again, you know. And it was a challenge moment that I was learning a lot about myself, about life, about situations, about people. But it was a talk that this man was giving, and it was a very short one. And this old man, he had like a very profound vision of life in general. And he passed, I think, a few years already. I don't know, 2-3 years. But his presence for 15 minutes changed my life. Allowed me to trust again in this kind of old male figure that was not from my family, because my family, I trusted old men there. And so it was quite revealing to me. It was very refreshing, and at that moment I realized how much we are in need of more people with those virtues, you know, in our society, in how people relate to each other, and how people connect and how people perceive their own lives and how they take care of themselves and how they can be also very protective of those around them. And this has nothing to do with being a woman or a man or any other gender. I'm talking about this respect that we can have for ourselves and for other people's lives. You know, recognizing the things that are happening to others, the injustices, anything that might be happening, but not closing the eyes to that. It's like witnessing, it's like seeing what's in our ability to shift, to transform, and to trust in this power to transform things. To trust this ability to act in a way that is not hurtful. It's not detrimental to no one. And it can be on anything, like the environment, children, the seniors, women, and even men. We know there are many men who are also suffering, and they don't know with whom to talk. It's a kind of relief for me to talk about this, but at the same time it is also because I am sensing and I'm hearing and I'm talking to people, and I think receiving all those kind of information from all sides, and so that's why I would like to invite you to nurture more of that within yourself, and to be grateful for those that somehow contributed for you to develop this balanced state within you. Yeah. So today was profound. Maybe some of you might have felt a little bit triggered. But I think this is a good thing too. Sometimes we needed to be triggered in order to make waves. Yeah. So positive ones, not detrimental ones, not destructive ones. Not those that are going to be something that after a period of time people will regret it. Yeah. So today I'm in a cafe, so maybe that's why the sounds of the fountain here are very audible for you as well. And so that's the conversation of the day, that's the reflection. If you have anything on this topic that we are talking today, feel free to bring up your comment. Everyone has a voice, and if you don't say anything, no one will speak for you. No one will speak for you. They may try, some may try, but your voice is your voice, and there's no one like you on this planet. So if you don't say anything, if you keep things to yourself only, what's the point? It's It's a moment of self-reflection, but also of integration. Integration that I think is calling for more responsibility, but not a responsibility that has to be heavy. It can be a responsibility that it really rings the bell within you, like a responsibility that you feel so called to do that you cannot do anything else but that you're what you're being called to. Yeah. So listen to that and do your part, and your part is only yours. Um, so thanks so much for chatting with me this afternoon. I don't know what is the hour and the place where you are right now, but I hope that it was a great conversation for you as well. So thanks so much, and see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.